In the summer of 1977,
Shake the little tambourine, shake a ring a jing jing a ling.
Elvis Presley disappeared from Memphis under the cover of night.
She rode upon it, return to sender.
He did not leave for a concert or a crowd, but for one last secret journey. He flew quietly to Denver and slipped into the Colorado hills, chasing something he had lost long ago: peace and freedom. Only weeks before his death, Elvis Presley left behind the noise of Graceland for a quiet ranch hidden in the Colorado mountains. There, far from cameras and pressure, he rode horses, sang gospel songs, and laughed with close friends. Many said it was the last time they saw him truly happy. By the summer of 1977, Elvis Presley was a man growing tired. The world still saw the king of rock and roll, the bright lights, the sequined jumpsuits, the crowds that filled every hall. But behind the image was a man who was exhausted, lonely, and burdened by fame. His health was failing, his energy was fading, and Graceland felt more like a cage than a home. So one warm night, Elvis decided to disappear. He boarded his private jet, the Lisa Marie, and flew quietly into the night sky toward Denver, far from the public eye. From Denver, he traveled deep into the Colorado countryside, to a small ranch surrounded by open fields and mountain air. There were no reporters, no fans, and no schedules. For a few precious days, Elvis was free. At the ranch, he found the peace he had been longing for. In the early mornings, he rode horses across the fields as the sun broke through the clouds. During the afternoons, he shared stories with friends and smiled in a way few had seen for years. In the evenings, they gathered around a fire, guitars in hand, singing old gospel songs that reminded him of home. One of his friends later said, "He was glowing. He looked younger. He sounded like himself again." For a short time, Elvis Presley was no longer a superstar. He was a man remembering who he was before the fame, a boy from Tupelo who loved music, laughter, and quiet nights. Yet behind that calm was something deeper, almost haunting. When the laughter faded and the night grew quiet, Elvis often looked up at the stars in silence. One friend would later admit, it felt like Elvis knew it was goodbye. The trip lasted only a few days, but its memory stayed with those who were there. When Elvis returned to Memphis, the bright lights and heavy schedule began again. But something inside him had changed. He had touched peace, even if only for a moment. In those Colorado hills, he found the part of himself that fame had taken away. The simplicity, the faith, and the warmth of ordinary life. It was not a farewell planned for the world to see. It was private, gentle, and deeply human. The world remembers August 16th, 1977, the day Elvis Presley died. But few remember the quiet days before, when he found peace in the Colorado mountains. There, under the wide sky, surrounded by friends and music, Elvis Presley said his final goodbye, not to the world, but to himself.